Welcome back from the break. I'm Catherine Mwangi. You are still on KTN Life and Style. Now, this is time for Books and Blogs, and I have an incredible author waiting for us to have a conversation with. You will absolutely love him. Today on Restaurant of the Week, we are at Fogo Gaucho restaurant. I know most of us call it Fogo Gaucho, but really I've just learned this morning that it's Fogo Gaucho, and I'm so excited to be able to meet the general manager of this restaurant, Mr. Elvio, so he can tell us what he has in store for us. So let's meet him. Elvio, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you too.
And you have
nice
a
to meet you.
wonderful restaurant.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so what makes your restaurant unique?
Okay, this is the way we are roasting the south of Brazilian meat.
Okay.
Yes, that's what makes it unique. You know, it's basically it's from south of Brazil. It's a unique thing because we are doing nyama choma.
Okay, Brazilian style.
Brazilian style nyama choma in a special marination as well.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that's what makes unique is the marination also we do.
Yeah.
The taste, the flavor of the meat is great.
Well, it's a beautiful place, and I can't wait to sample what you have for us. For now, let me go first have a conversation with the author, and then later on you will perhaps present your offering. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
You are
so
most
much.
welcome.
Thank you.
Hope you will enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Goro Wa Kamau.
Hello, madam.
So good to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Karibu
I'm happy to
sana.
be here.
Good, have a
Yes.
seat.
Yes, thank you.
I am so honored to have you here because first, you are such a prolific author. So many books to your name.
Well, I would say not as much as I would have loved to write.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow, but where did this journey begin for you?
It's a long journey. I would say, yeah, you know, what I would, people really don't know is that before you get published, you've written and written, and you have had all those heartbreaks, you know, of rejection and so on, or perhaps sometimes even a book taking too long to come out.
Okay.
So when you are published is not exactly when you start writing.
Wow,
There's
like it can take a year.
There's a whole story, even more. There's a whole story behind that.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say I started quite a long time back.
Yes.
I've always written, really, because, you know, it starts down there, probably in primary school.
Yeah.
When you write, say, a school composition, you know.
Yes.
And you know, and sometimes, you know, when you talk to young writers, you tell them that's where it starts. You write a school composition, and many children have that experience.
Yes.
And then the teacher says that this is so good.
Commendation
and
from
sometimes
the teacher.
they will read it to
The class.
the class.
Yes.
Yeah, so what happens is that sometimes, you know, you don't have the models to give you the direction, but you see you have it within you.
Yes.
So yes, so that's my experience from primary school. And then it continues high school, and you find that your teachers are always saying, and later on when you connect the stories, you see this is exactly what this teacher in primary school, I remember her very well.
Yes.
In primary school, Madam Damaris Wamboy.
You even remember
I remember her name. Yeah,
Oh.
she would say this is very good.
Yes.
High school, when you go to secondary school. Yeah, so, and...
Oh, some drinks from Fogo Gaucho.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Philip. We appreciate.
Enjoy your drink.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Teacher Damaris.
Yes, yes. That was way back in primary school, many years back. But I still remember, because at that time you don't know. But later on, when this madness of writing catches up with you, you connect.
Yes.
You are able to connect.
Yes.
And then you see your teachers have been telling you along that you can actually write.
Right.
Yeah. So, secondary school, I remember those teachers. Our very good teacher, the late Maina Mwangi,
Okay.
telling you, no, you know, you have it. You have it. In high school, I went to Kakamega High School.
Yes.
And you hear the same story from
Yes. The teachers there as well.
Yeah, I remember those teachers. So they do a great job of showing you the way. They may not tell you write books, but they tell you, you know, this is good. And when you go on and you start writing, then you find they were telling you something that you didn't know about yourself.
Yes.
Well, at the university it becomes a bit easy because in our days you find that you had some of these teachers, lecturers, they are professors who are also writers, and they are now teaching you. And you can imagine the excitement of seeing the man life or the woman life. Because a lot of times it's like a writer is some kind of, I don't know, out of this world that lives very far from you, from your own experience. And you know, we come from villages. So,
Wow.
so when you meet him now,
Yes.
and you are told this is Professor so-and-so, this is so-and-so, he will be teaching you. And you know I'm a teacher now.
Yes. Yes, tell us
yes,
about that. Because I was
yes.
going to say, you know, all these teachers commended your work.
Yes.
They noticed your talent and your gifting. And
Yes.
now you are doing the same. So tell us what you're
I
currently
hope
doing.
I'm doing it. Because now I teach at Laikipia University.
Okay.
I've been there for quite a while,
Okay.
teaching literature.
Literature.
Yes.
Okay.
And students, particularly when they discover that you write, it started like for many of my students, it's when we did an anthology of short stories.
So you're raising the next generation of Kenyan authors.
Well, at least the ones that are in Laikipia, I keep on telling them that you come, we talk.
Wow.
You come. And right now I'm talking to a few of them.
Yes.
Who have well, through these awards and so on, you make networks.
Yes.
So I want to get them involved. Maybe I cannot be able to do everything, but you know, you can get them into those workshops where writers, young writers meet. These days is better because there are these workshops all over the place.
Yes.
So a young writer who is really serious can come and join there and be modeled into, be inspired into a writer. So yes, I'm trying to invite some of them into that.
Wow.
To come into those workshops and to many other forums because they are there. What they may lack is the awareness of what is available. And I keep on telling them that they are very lucky because these opportunities were not very many
in your time.
In those back then.
Yes.
But now they can. There are many forums that anybody who is interested in writing can get the kind of motivation that
they require.
Yeah, because it's a hard job. It's a hard job. It's not easy. So
yeah, let's talk about that. By the way, let's talk about the challenges you've gone through in this journey of writing books in Kenya as a Kenyan author.
Well, the familiar ones, first of all, that I don't know. We don't seem really creative works. They don't seem to be a top priority. There are, of course, many dynamics. I've worked very briefly in publishing. I interact with publishers and so on. I know the dynamics of the market. So they have to survive. But as a writer, of course, I've got self-interested. So I keep on saying, yes, we must make money, but it is literature, the creative works that can make even your company a great name. Wow. I mean, you know, when like now we have been waiting for Goro to get the Nobel Prize. Suppose he got it, the publisher feels so happy, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, so yeah, they should not. They are trying, actually. They are doing very well these days, I think. I think it's opening up. But it should not be something that they do on the side. I would like to look at a situation where it is actually a central focus.
Main thing.
Yes, it's just as equal as any other line of business.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So this book, Ghost and the Fortune Hunters, is your latest?
Yeah, this is the latest, came out just last month or so.
Okay.
Yes.
And you won an award because of this book.
Yes, the BAT Award for African Literature.
Tell us about that.
The book is, yeah, it is a short novel. It is about stigmatization.
Okay.
Because the book is about the experience of a young boy really, who is kidnapped because he is an albino. So one day he is going to school and he is kidnapped by fortune hunters. These are fellows who think they can make millions out of selling him to the witch doctors.
Yes.
Yes, so, and the way they do it is very cruel. They inject him with some drug, so he is unconscious, and they carry him in a coffin because they want to cross the border, you know. And so this guy, the one of the fortune hunters, pretends he is going to bury a relative on the other side of the border.
Yes.
And you know now, it's very easy when you do it that way, if you think about it, because people will not ask you to open the coffin to see what is there. Not even border control, they will not really ask that. So the boy is smuggled in.
Wow.
He is smuggled in there.
So
and,
how does the story end? Don't give us the whole story because I want people to buy this book. But
yes.
How does it end? So is there a rescue, deliverance sort of story?
There is deliverance, finally, and I'm happy about that because he's a young boy. You don't want him to die.
Yeah.
He's barely 16.
Yeah.
You don't want him to die. But then you don't also want him to be saved by anybody.
You want him to rescue himself.
Yes, and how that happens is that the drugs, the effects of the drug have
Worn off.
worn off.
Yes.
And he realizes he's in danger, and he kind of escapes somehow.
So as an author, when you're writing such a story, do you start from the end to the beginning, or the beginning and the story just works itself to however it will end?
A tricky one, that one, because, you know, there are people who are writers I've met who are able to outline a story before they write it.
Yes.
And say it, you start here and end here, which I've tried and failed so desperately that I don't even try it anymore. So what I do, I prefer to have an idea and start, and then the story go wherever it wants.
It finds its life.
Yeah, is a very sometimes frustrating way of working, because you can go all the way, like I did with this, and find after 50 pages that the story is not going anywhere.
It has stuck. The story is not moving.
Yeah, or it's moving in the wrong. You don't see the end, because after it picks up, now you should be able to see how it will end.
Yes.
But sometimes you are going on and on, but you don't see where you are going with it.
So this is a very personal story to you.
Yes, and I gave it my all. Really, I really wanted to and of course that possibility. You know, now we are talking about the East African community here.
Yes.
The possibility, as we open our borders and we interact more closely, it can also spread all over. And we are not saying that we are innocent here.
Yes.
Because one of the things I was thinking about when I started this story is some few years back, some guy trying to sell his friend. Are you Fred? Promising them there's a job across in Tanzania, but when they get there, he tries to sell him to the witch doctors. He was a Kenyan, yeah?
And his friend is albino?
Yes. The way somebody will just tell you there's a job across there, let's go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are albino and you don't know what he has in plan for you.
All for money.
Yes, all for money. So yes, it may be more pronounced there, but it can happen here. It can happen here. Because like these fellows, they know they may not sell that boy here, but certainly if they get across there, they will find it.
Yes.
And you know, the other concern is, of course, the way it is called. This whole thing is tied up with the politics. Because when you go into it, you find that people who are doing this are people who want political power, and they think these charms can give them power.
More power.
They are businessmen who think that they can get fortune.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are not talking about really ignorant people.
It's a real
in any case, it's millions of money involved. It's not just the simple fellows who can afford it.
True.
Yeah, so it's a personal story in a sense. I find it meaningful.
Okay.
Yes.
So any author, any aspiring author, and this goes a long way in especially what you tell your students back at the university, those who are interested in writing. So now you have a wider audience watching you now, and they're inspired by, you know, your journey this far, and you've won all these awards. What would you tell them that they need to do to get started, to get to where you are, where you have so many titles?
Aspiring writers, I think the thing is, this one I keep on repeating is just write.
Just right.
Just write. Because you will never write if you don't start. And I know some of the problems we have is that young writers, you know, we are dealing with a generation of instant gratification. They won't write today,
Get published
get
tomorrow.
published tomorrow, and get the prize the other day.
Tell us how it
Of course,
works.
it can work. It can work. I'm not saying I'm not ruling it out. But when you look at the wider picture, now, Bob Dylan got the Nobel Prize. But how long has he been in this business?
Almost forever.
I don't think he was ever thinking about prices or anything.
Yeah.
He was just doing what he had to
He
do.
loves to do.
So if there's an aspiring writer who wants to write, let them write. Anything else is by the way. It will come if it will come. And if it doesn't, you have done what you had to do. Yes.
So are you saying aspiring writers, myself included,
I did know that one.
myself included, we should not look at the money. We should just do it because we love to do it. That's what you're saying.
And I'll repeat it because, you know, if you think about money, you give up very quickly. Very quickly. You'll be very frustrated. You think you wasted your time because these books are not really about money. But real writers will also tell you that there is that satisfaction that they get from writing and seeing themselves published and seeing books like that that surpasses our understanding.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
So are you giving our viewers this copy?
Yeah, the copies will be, I'm sure, I hope they are now available all over, but this one I can...
This one you can...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you heard it. Goro Wa Kamau wants to give you this book, Ghost and the Fortune Hunters. And you know it's very close to his heart because it's a story that means a lot to him. If you want a copy of this book, all you have to do is let us know which award has Goro spoken about this morning during this conversation. It's actually on this book, actually. But he's mentioned a certain award. What's the name of that award? If you get that right, you get the book. Your final words.
Yeah, my final words, well, this is that we are talking about literature, I think now, writing. I think I would probably want to talk to those aspiring writers and tell them that there is a future. There's a very great future in writing, especially because they are young. And they have a long way to go.
Yes.
If you look at all the big names we are talking about, the Goes, the Achembes, they have been doing it for decades.
True.
Yes, and so the aspiring writer should look at it. I always like to call it a marathon.
Yes.
It's a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go slow but sure. And finally you get there. You
Don't
get there.
quit.
Yeah, don't quit. Of course, there are so many distractions. You want to do this and that.
Yeah.
But if it is something within you, you find time for it.
Amen to
work.
that.
Yes.
Amen to that.
It will work, yeah.
It's been so great to have you on Books and Blogs today.
Thank you so
for
much.
coming all the way from Laikipia.